Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspadana Srunvanyutibhisida Sadhanam Om Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vajevir Vajinevati Dhinama Vitriyavatu Om Sri Mahasaraswati Namaha. Welcome all of you. So this is the fourth of 4 lectures on Dharma. So I'll start with today's outline of talk. 4 major points. First, of course, is the past Dharma discussions, Sanat Dharma way of life, and there are 3 or 4 points under that, then suggestions to lead Sanat Dharma way of life and a summary. These are all to those who are attending first time. You can go and listen to those lectures 1, 2, 3. They are in the YouTube. Please search under my name plus Dharma, then you will get those videos. But I will quickly go through. We must remind ourselves that we started with basically all knows the meaning of the word Dharma. Dharyati iti dharmaha. Anything that sustains and upholds. Then the question is, sustains or upholds what? Sustains or upholds the cosmic laws. That is Dharma. And in English, about 20 meanings or so are used: the truth, justice, ethics, morality, and doing the right thing, etc. And again, the great linguist himself, who is a professor of Sanskrit in Oxford, said that either one of those 20 or all 20 together does not give the full power and meaning of Dharma. So we gave some examples. So from there we have brought you in each of this class more advanced far from that original definition. So we gave some examples like planting trees, act in the best interest of all, actions to uplift everyone. Then earth is an organism. It is not a lump of earth for people to do as they want. So we must treat earth as a place for everyone has a place in it. Then the other statement that we found out from Bhagavad Gita is that following Dharma helps one to accomplish all tasks well. What is the justification for that? I use the justification for that as the Bhagavad Gita slokas, chapter 18, 13 and 14. Panchaidani Mahabaho Karnani Nibodhame Sankhya Prokte Siddhaye Sarvakarmanam. So Krishna says to Arjuna, Pancha Karmani. I don't have that sloka, that is in the first slide, lecture slide. I am quoting from memory. Panchaidani Mahabaho. 5 factors are there for success of all things. And then what are they? Adhishtanam, Karanam, Karta, Cheshta. Adhishtanam, the body. Karta, the actor, the person. Karanam, our sense and organs. And the Cheshta, the tools with which we do the karma. These are the 4 things. And everyone agrees with that. And then Daivam Chaivatra Panjamam. That is what the sloka says, 18.14 Bhagavad Gita. So Daivam Panjamam. Those, in a simple-minded way, if you want to look at it, God and divinity presence is needed. That will be satisfactory. But to the elite and educated people, they do not accept anything connected with God because they know they are highly knowledgeable and I do everything right. That type of people, to them, we gave the reason that leading a dharmic life is equivalent to the Daivam. So the Daivam Panjamam. So that 5th one, Daivam, you can either consider regular worship and all that. That's the normal way to consider. But to those who are not satisfied with that explanation, I provide the explanation that one who does a dharmic life, and that is the justification to say, following Dharma, that helps us to accomplish all tasks. Then Dharma is a cosmic force, and these are some slogas worth remembering every day to remind ourselves the importance of Dharma. Yada dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Glani, deficit of Dharma, Dharma decay. Then abhittanam adharmasya, abhittanam, rise of adharma. Then tadatmanam srijamyam. Then I take srishti, I create myself, I come as an avatar. Then paritranaya sadhunam vinaya dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. Then the ultimate charma sloga, sarvadharman parityajya mameva sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvabhavebhyo mokshayishayam ashuja. So repeating all these are very, very useful to remind ourselves of the importance of Dharma, so that we will not stray away, because mind has to be constantly reminded to go this way. You see, we can all get a mind in a, that is why they say sattvic association will help you with sattvic thoughts. If you are associated with associates, whatever recommend you, you go with that one. So keeping mind with this by having reminding ourselves with those slogas. Yadaidihe dharmasya, one sloga from Bhagavad Gita, I recommend that sloga. That is again gives us incentive to follow Dharma. Yadaidihe dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So we must not contribute to the glani of at least my share. I will try to do Dharma, so I am not trying to contribute to any decay of Dharma. I stay with Dharma. Then Ramayana, Mahabharata, you see, I said the Chaturdasha Vidyasthana, the 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, and the 4 Upangas, together called 14, Chaturdasha Vidyasthana, that was prescribed study before people can go specialize in any field, whether you want chariot building, whether you want to become an engineer, whether you become to be a physician. Everyone, the education consists of the Chaturdasha Vidyasthana, so everyone will get a Dharma from the Veda, will understand. And I also quoted Sai Deepak making a statement that as late as 1823, the collector of Arcot, South Arcot, was writing to the UK government that 59,000 schools in the southern zone alone are teaching Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavata. I will be tempted to ask a question: how many students, the next generation students growing up in this country, have heard of these terms? So, in my Understanding the Vedas book, I have quoted, we all had to go through Iliad and Odyssey, Homer's, which are all about 30,000 or 25,000 slogas. But Mahabharata, 100,000 sloga, Ramayana, none of them we read. But everyone is looking for our children. I'm talking about my grandchildren, looking for the next version of the Harry Potter. Is it all over now, or it is still looking for? But no one has any time to read them, because even our educated people themselves think Ramayana and all, because the Westerners have planted all these ideas in us, not to study all this. Oh, it's all mythology. So I don't want to read a myth. So it is not mythology. Itihasa, that is what we call Ramayana and Mahabharata are itihasa. Iti ha asam. That is what meaning of the other. So Ramayana is a very excellent document to read. Try to read the original documents. Of course, if you read translation, that also is fine. But going through Valmiki Ramayana, and Rama says, a lived life of Dharma, Artha and Kama provide happiness arising out of fruits of dharmic life. So out of the 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha and Kama, leading a life, because we have taken birth to do karmas. So, and he also says, absent Dharma, Artha and Kama must not be sought. That is what Rama says, 57 and 58 slogas, that is in my book. Then lessons of Dharma from Mahabharata, Yudhishthira chat with Bhishma and Yudhishthira, Yaksha Prashna. And in Yaksha Prashna, Yudhishthira says, Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. One who upholds Dharma will be protected by Dharma. And what is the proof? Nakulo jivadu. When after answering all these questions, when that Yaksha asked, Egam bradrinam tvamichasi sajivadu. One brother, 4 of them are lying dead. So Yudhishthira followed Dharma at that time because Yaksha himself was surprised and he asked, why Nagula? Without Arjuna, you cannot win the war against him. Without Bhima's strength, you will not be able to win. So why did you not select any of them and you chose Nagula? Then he has said, both mothers, Kunti and Madri, are equal to me. So one son of Kunti is alive. I want one son of Madri to be alive. So he followed Dharma. Then when he asked, why did you choose her? He said, Dharma rakshati rakshitaha. I have to do Dharma. And immediately Yaksha was happy. He did not know that all 4 will be released by Nagulo Jivadu. He did what is Dharma. So these are all lessons for us to do. And Adi Shankara's definition, in Bhagavad Gita introduction, he says, Abhyudaya and Nisrayasa. And he specifically says, absent Abhyudaya or Nisrayasa, if you are not leading your life based on Abhyudaya, and it says, even though the Abhyudaya was given a little bit negative characterization later, Adi Shankara did not say that, but Adi Shankara said, Abhyudaya is leading a life of Dharma, Artha and Kama. And not following Dharma, not following Artha or Kama if you are violating Dharma. That is what Ramayana says. And that is exactly what Adi Shankara has also said. The definition of Vidya. But later, it gets diluted. Different translations. Abhyudaya means material prosperity. It says material prosperity, but it is not by crook or means. It is with Dharma in mind. So, Adi Shankara's definition of Abhyudaya includes Dharma, Artha and Kama. That life is also dharmic. Nisrayasa is also. If you are not pursuing either Abhyudaya or Nisrayasa, then you are not leading a dharmic life. That is Adi Shankara has stated. So both are worth following. So, and 2 quotes from Dharma I want you to remind ourselves is that Kausalya's finally the blessing, when all arguments from Kausalya is not accepted by Rama. What does he say? Nasti Shakti. Piturvadanam samadikramam mama. Mama na shakti. I don't have any strength. For what? Piturvadanam samadikramam. To cross over father's word. Because even though Kaigai has told me it is father's word, I know father want to protect them. So I don't have any strength. So repeating, pleading, I will bow down to you, Shirasa Damami. Sashtanga Namaskara I will do. Vanam Gandhumichyamyaham Vanam. I want to go to forest to protect Dharma's word. So that is Rama. And what did Kausalya finally said? The Dharma that you execute with happiness and free will, may the Dharma protect you. He's going to, Kausalya is finally blessing Rama to go to forest. With what blessing? Let that Dharma protect you. I cannot protect you. Mother wants, may God protect you. But she uses the word, the Dharma that you execute. So, emphasis on Dharma. Then, of course, Yudhishthira's Dharma. Okay. Now, I'm going to the topic of the day. Sanatana and Dharma are Sanskrit words used as is in many languages. Sanatana means eternal or eternally valid or it existed always. That is the meaning of the Sanskrit word Sanatana. So, from that meaning, I want all of you to understand, all listeners to understand that Sanatana can only be used as a qualifier to something else that exists always. And Dharma existed always. Dharma is also a cosmic force. That is why Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana cannot be used as adjective for any other religion, because none of them had existed always, whereas Dharma as is a cosmic force. And again, our authority to say that is the Shad Vaishnava Mantra. Samudhamasi Pagum Sute, that Trini Pada Vijakrame Vishnur Goba Adabhyaha Tani Dharmani. So, by 3 steps, what are the 3 steps? Bhuhu, Bhuha, Suvaha together is 1 step. Mahaha, 2nd step. Then Tapaha, Janaha, Satyam, all 3 together. The 7 logas can also be said as 3 logas. Bhur, Bhuha, Suva together. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. These are the Prithivya, Saptadamabihi. These are the 7 dhamas or imaginary division of the loga. From the earth, which consists of truth and falsehood, to all the way to the Satya Loga, there are 7 zones. And Bhuhu, Bhuva, Suvaha together can be taken as 1 and Maha. So those are the Trini Padani, Vijakrame, Vishnu, Goba, Adabhya. He set his foot on these 3, which is the 7 logas, Dharmani Dharayanya. He emphasized Dharma in all these logas. So we say Dharma is eternal. So we can use Sanatana in front of it. Sanatana Dharma means a dharmic life that existed always. So everyone must understand, whenever we say we follow Sanatana Dharma, is we are following that dharmic life. That means we are living according to the cosmic laws. Just like we are all bound to live by the laws of the city, state, country where we live, those are all, otherwise there are penalties. There are civil violation of the laws or criminal violation of the laws. Both have penalties. In the same manner, the life that we follow, the Sanatana Dharma way of life, is a dharmic life, and Dharma being cosmic laws. So we are following the cosmic laws. There is nothing greater than that. So that is the greatness of Sanatana Dharma. Now, this is an added point, because people want to know about Sanatana Dharma way of life. No mention of any religion in the definition of Sanatana Dharma way of life in any of the Sanatana Dharma scriptural texts. As I previously mentioned, the word religion came up from, because the Semitic people are always, it's open? Someone is at the door. The Semitic religions always consider religion. Therefore, the dharmic life that we follow, is named as Sindhu religion first, and then they called it Hindu religion. Sindhu became Hindu religion. That is, foreigners associate this way of life as the Sindhu religion or Hindu religion. Religion, in Malayalam it is, religion translation is Matam. What is in Telugu? Telugu. Tamil? Matam. And Matam is a Sanskrit word. It has come all of them. So, what does Matam means? Matam, Sanskrit, has opinion, belief, idea, view or thought. So, Matam means it is only an opinion. So, one need not assign, if from childhood you are taught that opinion, it is difficult for you to change that. So, that is, you have to follow that. So, the religion is Matam. Matam means opinion. So, I want to say that. And Sanatana Dharma is not an opinion, it is a lived life. It follows the cosmic laws. So instead of considering this as superior to everything, and it is along with the cosmos itself, the creation, if we believe that from that time onwards is existing Dharma, and that cosmic laws have to be followed, not because we want to support the cosmic. There are enough forces in the cosmos, starting with the spirit and the devas. They will all protect. That is why Yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati. If you do not contribute to the maintenance and upholding of dharma, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, you are violating the cosmic laws, just like we are violating a civic law or anything. So I wanted to add another dimension to say religion is matam, and every at least the South Indian language, maybe Hindi also may be there. Religion means matam. Matam means an opinion. So why do you want to go with some opinion when there is a cosmic law to be violated? So to me, so SD way of life is actual lived life and does not fit any of the 5 meanings of matam. Hence, I argue that SD cannot be called Hindu religion. It is okay for foreigners or somebody else to say that, but I do not want any of you to say Hindu religion. Religion is only a matam. Why you have to say what opinion you belong to? It's just like saying, are you a supporter of Trump or opposer of Trump? Instead of Trump, there is somebody else. So we don't want to associate ourselves with religion. In this Dharma, the Deivam Panjatra, the 5th one is Deivam. That is why I quoted that sloka. There are so many slokas from the one that I have selected is for me to emphasize these points. Panchaidani Mahavaho. 5 factors, of which 4 factors nobody has any. This Adhishtanam, Karta, Karanam, Cheshtas. So these are all the tools needed to do any karma. Daivam Panjatra, Daivatra Panjamam. The 5th one is Daivam. And you can go the simple worship. Really, if you want to extend it, what Daivam is, the inviting the energies. You see, I don't have time to say all that. You come to my Veda lecture, whenever I give Veda lecture. The whole Vedas, the Veda mantra is a way to invite energies. Just like there is energy. So, for example, on a cold day, we have no problem to get out of the side to get the sun. Why? To get heat. So, we agree sun has a heat. But sun has heat. But much, much more, sun will give you enlightenment. Sun will give you truth. That is why Gayatri Japa has such importance. So, you can invite these energies. Why do you want energy? Without energy, we cannot carry on with more tasks. So, the more energies we are getting, and including if we get divine energies, so many type of energies that have different purposes. So, this will also give you the illumination, the intuition. This will give you intellect. So many types of energies are available. So that is that. That is why chanting of the Veda mantras. That is why worship at temple. That is why conducting a yajna. But all these have been dismissed by the Westerners to take us away from that they are all rituals. So we must avoid all that. My purpose is to emphasize that I do not want anyone to say while we can follow the and all that. To understand Sanatana Dharma Way of Life, which is the topic of today's time, one must fully understand. So I can one way say this lecture is over because I have explained the Dharma in the past 3 classes. So you follow that 3 lectures again, study the first 86 pages of my book, and the past 3 lectures have discussed Dharma. So read, reread. Okay. Now comes internalize these points and ideas of Dharma. This is the hardest part of all. We are all good at listening lectures. I include me also. Please don't misunderstand. I am not, I have understood this more, little bit more, but do not consider I am sitting from a pedestal and then I am only sharing this knowledge so that all of us together will ensure, because practicing, internalizing and practicing is the hardest thing in any field. Any field. Why? Listening to music is easy. But you start from Sept, go through the number of years of practice. Watching football on TV is a lot easy. Talk to that guy how much time he says, or a tennis match. Even tennis professionals, they are getting burned out. They cannot keep up with the amount of practice that is needed. So the hardest thing is there. So we have to take simple steps, and that is what we are going to see today. Okay. First, I want to take about this Swabhava and Swadharma. I'm going to talk about few technical things that will be helpful, because the Dharma includes Swadharma. And Krishna has caused sufficient instructions for us, and also he has caused slight problems also to explain the Swadharma to everybody, which is one of the more difficult aspects of this, because the only way to explain Swadharma is, I'll come back in a minute, okay. So, what is Swabhava and Swadharma? These are all, understanding these concepts will help us to follow that, follow Dharma. So, there is only Purusha. Purusha evedagam sarvam yad bhudam yad chabhavyam yad bhudam yad chabhavyam. Purusha Sukta says, Purusha eva idagam, Purusha eva idagam sarvam. There is only Purusha. There is only this spirit. Whether you call it Tadegam, whether you call it Brahman, whether you call it Purushottama, it does not matter. There is only a spirit, supreme spirit. Then each person, the spirit has entered into everything in manifestation. That is what our best understanding. So everyone has an amsham of spirit. And again, there are explanations. That is why we say Namaste. When I say Namaste to you, Namahate, even they are telling you, I am saying Namaha to the spirit in you. There are explanations given like that. So each person has a Jiva or Jivatman. We call it by various ways, Jivatman. And the Supreme Spirit as the Paramatman. Supreme Spirit endows each Jiva with helpful, non-physical energy, positive and negative. To start with, we come with energies, positive and negative energies, all of them are there. How each Jiva uses these energies is unique to every individual. It can be due to your birthplace, how your parents were, you learn from the parents. It can be due to your surroundings. After a few years, first few years, then we start going to school onwards, we get associated with friends, and whichever way we connect with and all that. So each Jiva uses it in a unique way, and that is unique to every individual. Parents, as parents we know, if you have more than one child, you'll see the children are different. They have different interests, different characteristics, behave differently. So each individual, and that is because depend upon that person's swabhava. Each person has a bhava, because the spirit, Supreme Spirit endows each jiva with helpful non-physical. The Supreme Spirit has endowed all jiva with a similar. Supreme Spirit has not shown any partiality. So if different children act differently, not because of Supreme Spirit, their bhava, and there are so many things, I am not getting into all that. Some of them, there will be a lot more discussion. It comes from cumulative reincarnation and all that. So we carry whatever the, each janma, whatever karma we did, that comes along with us. So many of those included. So swabhava of a person, swa for self and bhava character. Person's swabhava is his or her inner nature, the truth of his being. that swabhava, one must follow that swabhava. One may have talents in that swabhava, whether that is how we all have come to where we are, or whether our parents directed you follow this profession will help you to lead a good life. So we adapted our swabhava to that profession, or sometimes we say a square peg in a round hole because hey, that person is not suited for this, but he has come to this profession. That also we hear, whether he goes with that. But in general, if we follow the swabhava, we will be able to expand our goals. So that is one way of looking at it. And then analogous to swabhava, the word swadharma means one's dharma also is there. Now, dharma is universal or cosmic laws. All must follow dharma, including swadharma. And actions determined by one's swabhava is the right law to function out his swadharma. So one's swabhava, because the question comes, how to determine? Bhagavad Gita, swadharmam abhichaveshya na vikambidum arhasi dharmadhi yuddha. You have a chance to do a dharma yuddha. Shreyo anya kshatriyasena vidyate. A kshatriya, you are a kshatriya, your swadharma is to fight, and you are not going to get another chance to do a dharma yuddha. Dharma refers to the universal laws and applies to everyone to follow these laws. What Krishna says in this verse is that in addition, one must follow or obey laws that applies to each person. Arjuna, being born of the Kshatriya race, he must follow his duty, Kshatriya Dharma, which is that. Then one must follow only one's Dharma. You cannot go into another's Dharma. I find to do my Dharma difficult. So I am going to do another's Dharma. We all do that, but Krishna says that that is not right. And this Swadharma has a lot of difficulties to fully explain. Even to understand it is a difficult thing. I will try to do as good a job as possible. The explanation of the 335 sloka, what Krishna says is, even if one was able to accomplish one swadharma in an imperfect way, doing one swadharma is better than doing the swadharma of another, even if well discharged. This has caused a lot of difficulties because the varna, Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Chadurvarnam Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagayoh. That part we miss. We only attribute, this Krishna created. Chadurvarnam Maya Srishtam. I have created this 4 varnas. He also said immediately, Guna Karma Vibhagayoh. Based on your guna and the karma that you are capable of doing, I have assigned this varna to the person. And the 4 varnas, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and in the early times when not enough people for a community to survive, those varnas characteristics, if they do those jobs, again, because of his belief of the Swadharma. But what happened later on is the varna became connected with jadi, caste. Then it created all problem. In fact, after a couple of weeks ago, Badranath, who himself is IT consultant and who is a teacher of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads and all that, he wrote to me saying that this is a difficult slogan, and he even quoted Ambedkar and Gandhiji had differences on this. That Gandhiji said, everyone can study whatever it is, but they must do their own varna profession. But the connection is, Ambedkar was connecting with jadi. By that time, it is all, we have perpetuated the jadi. So Brahmins, from the varna we became the caste. And when you, assigning the Swadharma to a caste becomes difficult. Swadharma must only be applied to Varna. So as long as you connect with Varna, in other words, ideally speaking, at this time, if you want to allocate Varnas to the people here, that may not coincide with the caste to which we are born. Based on if your interest is to do business, then Krishi Vanijyam is associated with Vaishya. Then you follow that Vaishya tradition. So it is a very difficult statement. But anyway, I want to say that the Dharma includes Swadharma. Everyone must follow one Swadharma and the Dharma. But again, semantics. Some people say there is Samanya Dharma and Vishesha Dharma and all that. That's all different ways one can explain. But I personally would like to use Dharma includes Swadharma also. No need to separate these two. Later on, when I come to today's lecture, I will show you there are gunas. There I don't mind using Samanya Guna, ordinary Guna, and Vishesha Guna. But when it comes to Dharma, I don't want to use ordinary Dharma and Vishesha Dharma. I don't want to. Dharma is cosmic laws, which includes the Swadharma also based on the Varna. So I do not want to separate that you are doing ordinary Dharma versus, but that's all semantics one can do. My definition is Dharma includes Swadharma. How to determine these? Everyone, because Krishna has already said that, hey, I want to do the Swadharma. I will straight away say it is not easy. Neither straightforward nor simple to find out your... But all of us know our Swabhava. Whether we agree or not, whether we agree publicly or not, as I say, when we go inside the bathroom, close the door, when we are face to face with the person in the mirror, when we talk to ourselves, we know what is our Swadharma. We know what is my character. We know I get snapped when things don't go my way. Another way of saying I get angry. Always we say we don't have angry. We are not anger, but anger is not good for you. So we say, hey, I don't get angry at all. But once you talk to your spouse, if she is ready to say, frankly, not embarrass you, then we all will fail that test. So what I want to say is that finding the Swabhava we know, and we can, by extension, we can say whatever is the training based on that, we can extend it to Swadharma. The only by careful observation and all-round help of the divine one will be able to find out. There are scholars, teachers, gurus and acharyas in our community. We must approach them. If you are very particular to find what is your Swadharma, there are ways, there are acharyas, there are specialized people. There are talk show hosts like myself, Sridhar, Badri. So many people are there. We will share what we know. We may not help you to exactly define what it is, but discuss with you your Swabhava, and together, what is your Swadharma? Mainly the training that you have got as a childhood. But there are teachers, scholars, gurus and all that who can help you to determine your Varna, your Swabhava, Swadharma at all. But Dharma includes Swadharma. I will leave it at this, and I want to move on to Yajna and spirituality, because my goal is to say what are the basic things. You see, one thing I must at the very beginning say, most people who are attending this lecture by Zoom and who are attending here, in a sense, they say you are giving a speech to the choir. They are all already Dharma followers. They are all Sattvic people who are coming to listen again. They wanted to get a deeper understanding of that. As someone said, I should give this lecture to X, Y, and Z. The people who do not, publicly who do not follow Dharma. They may hear or not, but at least if I get a chance, I want to go and explain Yaksha Prasna to those people who are not following Dharma. And I want to explain Rama's slogan, Nasti Shakti, Piturvajanam Samyuktam Mama. I will tell you all those things. And Dharma, Artha and Kama, if he is not there, don't follow after the Artha and Kama if you are not following Dharma. That is what the 57, 58, 2 slokas, first sloka, Rama has said. I know that a lived life of Dharma, Artha and Kama is a dharmic life. That is what you should live. But he also said, if you are not able to follow Dharma, then you should give up on Artha and Kama. So I am explaining all these again and again to the people to get a deeper understanding and to start practicing those items that I have included in this chapter, to start doing that. Because that will expand your dharmic living. That will expand your opportunities to continue doing Dharma. And that will prevent us from going even an occasional adharmic thought by following this. And in that context, yajna and spirituality has a top priority. Yajna is, even though traditionally said it is a ritual, yajna means I have to do a Ganesh homam, Ganapati homam, or Rudra homam, or Sudarshana homam. The priest comes and tells me to do this and I do that. No. We can take interest and understand. But even if you do not specifically understand what the priest asks you to say as part of the yajna, I will give you a broad definition of what one must one must have the thoughts as one does say yajna, is that I am inviting the cosmic energies. I am inviting the devas. I am inviting the power of light. Don't think I am inviting Rama. You can also think that way if that is more comfortable. Rama, Krishna, Vishnu, Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. That also is fine, because even those personalities have specific energies associated and you are inviting that energy. But a broader definition from the Vedic point of view is they are all cosmic energies. Agni, Indra, Vayu, Soma, Saraswati, all of them you can invite. You are all inviting the cosmic energies. And the word yajna, they chose the word yajna, is ya means striving for and ya means knowledge. So yajna's meaning is striving for knowledge. You see, we consider knowledge only of two kinds. One is a knowledge that helped me to get a better job. I have to study, I have to get my degree. Then I get a job. The other is knowledge I want to go, I want to determine who am I, self-realization. That is another knowledge. But the knowledge includes what is the purpose of my life, and that will be answered by conducting a yajna. Not only by conducting meditation and meditating oneself, that is the ultimate stage perhaps, but there are in preliminary steps. Everyone from childhood onwards must be explain these points. Yajna means we are striving for knowledge. And what is, how do we perform that? We do sacred actions. What are sacred actions? Actions done with awareness of divine spirit in it. Chanting mantras, pujas, going to temple. At all these places, the presence of divine spirit is there. Why are we going to the temple? Of course, we go there to worship Ganapati or Shiva or so. But look at it in a broader way. There is a divinity there, there is a divine spirit there, and I am going to invite that spirit. I want to offer, in fact, Sri Aurobindo has given a very good explanation. Yajna is a man giving a portion of what he has so that the divinity will in return give a portion of the power of light and truth to you. And that way you rise in consciousness. Because our goal, whether you see, I want to become enlightened, self-realized, Or I want to go to Satyaloka and live with Vishnu or Shiva together. They are all in the Satyaloka. I am here in the earth, the loka that is consisting of truth and falsehood. So essentially, I have to get rid of the falsehood from me. It is a simple process, but not easy to practice. Remove the falsehood in you, and there are so many places. The self, we are connected with the impurities, Shad Ribhus, Kama Krodha, Lobha Moha, Mada Matsarya. These are all covering this self. When the impurities are removed, the self reveals itself. Because there is nothing else. What prevents the self from revealing to you is we are packed with thick layers of these Shadribhus. So remove these Shadribhus. That is all leading a dharmic life. Now, spirit permeates every aspect of the universe, including living beings and non-living. In Veda, it is called Tadegam, that one, Brahman in Vedanta, Purushottama in Bhagavad Gita. Now, spirituality. Now, this is a word, in my opinion, misinterpreted. Spirituality is misinterpreted thing. The typical thing that I want to say is about 10 or 12 years ago, 2012 or 2013, this Hawaii, there is the temple. They conduct a Hinduism Today magazine and all that. So those went to North Carolina, one of the university campus. You know, in the Carolina, there are Duke, the Triangle, the big, they are all excellent schools. In North Carolina, Chapel Hill and Duke, they are all there. So they went there and they called many Indian students. And they asked about coming to, when you come to Hawaii, to come to temple and all that. And 82% of them said, no. We belong to SBNR, spiritual but not religious. There's a category called don't come to me. You see, I don't mind if the Semitic religion person says that I don't believe in the religion, I want to go spiritual. But anyone who believes in Sanatana Dharma, anyone who knows, even the auto rickshaw driver, of course, I don't want to downsize his thing. He may not have ability or money, or parents did not have resource to send him to school. He may be a brilliant guy. But every common person, including worker, knows, we call the word when a person dies, Chattuboyi. Chattuboyi means Sattuboyi. The Sat, the spirit is gone. So almost everyone in India, from low to high, knows the fact that we are not this body. There is a spirit in this. And when that spirit leaves, that happens. So this is known to all of us. And still 82% of those, why this, I quote this one is because they are not ordinary Indians. They are all brilliant students who have got admission to Duke or Chapel Hill and all that. And this Hinduism said 82% spiritual. There is this belief that what you do, this yajna and everything and all that. So I am saying that a person who is leading a dharmic life, there is a step called divinization or spiritualization. Spiritualization is a process by inviting the spirit, invite these devas, whether you call powers of light or you want to call them as personifications like Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Durga, Vishnu, Sudarshana, whatever thing. Either way, and they have their some characteristics or qualities. Either way, we are inviting that spirit. So this act is spiritual. Every yajna is spiritual. So I start by saying that we must avoid this misinterpretation of spirituality. The going to the temple is a spiritual act. You are going there to get the divinity, to get that energy, that place. Why go to the temple? In a park, also maybe there from the natural forces, but going to the temple, specially set up system and the chanting of the mantras and the divinity is transferred to the idols. So divinity, so recognizing the power of spirit in all tasks is spirituality. Anyone who thinks there is a spirit, there is somebody else, a supreme spirit, without the guidance we will not be able to. Concept of dharma is one aspect of the spirit. To lead a spiritual life, pay attention to the following. Follow dharma and lead a dharmic life. Every item in manifestation has its own importance, so we must not try to disturb their role. Treat all humans and living beings with respect and compassion. Seek inward guidance of the spirit for every action. With the support of the divinity, our actions. Daivatra Panjamam. Panjaidani Mahabaho. Remember that verse again and again. So by seeking that inward guidance, the four things you are already doing. Adhishtanam, Karta, Karanam, Cheshta. Those four things we are already doing. Daivatra Panjamam. The Daivam to get that thing that there is spirit. Now, here itself I want to say, I will also occasion to say later. If you go to Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, 3.10 and 3.11, those two slokas I have quoted many times. Sahayajna praja srishtva purovaja prajapati anena prasiddham asti ishta kamaduk. Treat this. Sahayajna praja srishtva. If we believe that Prajapati created prajas, Sahayajna, he created the prajas. Sahayajna, Saha means with, along with Yajna. So Yajna is also eternal. What we dismiss as ritual and no one pays any attention to it, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says it. Because another problem is Bhagavad Gita is treated as a jnana text. Whether they emphasize karma, Bhagavad Gita, I do not know. I emphasize karma again and again whenever I teach Bhagavad Gita. But sometimes as part of the Vedanta, there may be Urdhva Moola Matashaga. Many of those things have greater emphasis. So people look at, even though everyone knows Bhagavad Gita includes Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga and all that, it is considered as a jnana. I am going there because I am spiritual. But the spiritual is in yajna. Go look at chapter 3, 3.10. In fact, in my opinion, chapters 2 and 3 says all what need to understand from Bhagavad Gita. But that is not given emphasis at all. Every chapter is given emphasis. But I'm not quoting this as Rama, the great scholars in the 1930s and all that, it is considered as a Karma Yoga text. So what I'm trying to say is the spirituality, and I will have emphasis, the Pancha Mahayajna. This is those who want to get started with dharmic living, this is one of the easy places to start. And what are the Pancha Mahayajna? Brahmayajna, Devayajna, Pitriyajna, Bhutayajna, Narayajna. Now, the Brahmayajna, Devayajna, Pitriyajna, it is also said in another way, we are all born with three rinas, three indebtedness. Deva, Rishi, Pitru. To these three people, we are indebted. So they say every person, the Sanatana Dharma follower, has three rina. Rina means indebtedness. The Devayajna, chanting the Veda or going to the temple, do whatever. If nothing else, getting up the day morning, after taking shower, keep one Ishtadevada's photo, spend 5 minutes, don't just show them the run, and also, of course, now we don't have any time to eat breakfast, take a piece of bread and get into the car. That is the lifestyle. We have to reorient the lifestyle here to say, take a few minutes to that. So, this Brahma Yajna, Brahma, the word Brahma in Veda is used for mantra. So Brahma Yajna is mantra yajna, chanting Veda mantras or reading Ramayana. Read 2 slokas a day. And now, if you are not reading, I will connect you with Srikant. I will get you Srikant Nagarajan, who used to come to you and all that. He has now started a couple months ago, reads 1 or 2 Valmiki Ramayana sloka and explains. I'll connect you with that and put you, I'll tell you also how to connect with that one and all that. So he reads, he is now in the first Balakanda, that 5th Sarga only. He has not spent too much. Every day, 1, sometimes 2, 3 slokas. He will read the sloka, he will give the English meaning, then he will break up the sloka and all that. And Badri also wrote to me saying that there is a Valmiki Ramayana, this is done by Kanpur IIT or so, in English with separated also. So resources are available to all that. So Brahma Yajna, Brahma means Vedic mantra. In Brahma word is used in Veda to denote mantra. Deva Yajna is inviting divinity. Pitri Yajna is departed elders from the family. Bhuta Yajna, the Buddhas, the birds and the other Buddhas is there. Narayana is fellow people. Now, Brahma Yajna, self-knowledge and self-study, study of the Vedas, read Itihasas, Bhagavata Purana or Narayaniyam. Deva Yajna is an offering to our own higher nature. The secret God in the puja, worship, yajna, havans, etc. Pitri Yajna, offering to one's departed ancestors. Life is a stream. Continuity exists between ancestors and later generations. Bhuta Yajna, offerings are made to elements and all creatures. We are part of greater whole. And Narayana is offering to fellow human beings. Now these 5 daily yajnas are the foundation of the highest morality and spirituality taught by our ancient Vedic seers. And this is followed by many people in India even today. And I am suggesting all those who wish to start or expand their dharmic life, consider those who have not done any, start doing it, or those who are already doing something, try to expand this. Now, what are my suggestions? Begin Pitri Yajna by paying respects to photos of your departed elders. Again, the time to do this, after taking baths, coming down, wherever on your way, along with your gods, just before that, keep your the departed elders or departed grandparents, and just a minute worship them. Observances on New Moon Day. New Moon Day, Amavasi. Of course, to us we have to do Tarpana to elders and all that. Whether you do Tarpana or not, consider Amavasi a special day. So the other question comes, how do I know which day is Amavasi? I'll conduct a special class to youngsters. Whosoever want to attend, it's okay. I'll give you little bit of Jyotisha, little bit of Panchaga, another 3 or 4 classes we get separately. This is a must for everybody. And you must transfer it to your children. See, for example, you should know, today, I say, today is also Amavasi. If tomorrow is Navaratri starting, that starts after a new moon day, starts from Prathama to 9 days, and Vijayadashmi is the celebration of the 10th day. So, we must tell her that they know the children, we have to put Golu and all that, but when does this happen? We must know all those. Every day, we must look at a Panchaga. Panchaga has 5 items. The day, then Nakshatra and Tithi, second and third. Then Yoga and Karna. Yoga and Karna, we can always say Shubha Yoga and Shubha Karna. But you must understand what is the Tithi. Today's Tithi is Amavasa. What is the Nakshatra, Uttara Falguni. So each Nakshatra, and then you can follow all that. So when New Moon Day comes, New Moon Day is considered to be Pitri Day, Pitri Tarpana and all that. Then begin Bhuta Yajna daily. Put some liquid, the birds will come and take it, throw some rice at a particular time, they may come and take it. Then Narayajna when possible. Help another human being or invite them for food. Those are all things that are doable, and many people follow these things in India. All these three are easy and simple to get started. After a month or so of these three yajnas, consider adding Brahma Yajna. Read a few verses of Itihasa, Valmiki's Ramayana, or listen to Veda chanting, go to temple once whenever when you get time. All these have a purpose of listening to, you are doing the Brahma Yajna. And after 3 or months more, then add Devi Yajna by visiting temples for worship and all that. Then one becomes a Panchamahayajna performer perhaps in 6 months or 2 years' time if you start today. You will generally get into a new frame of mind because you have to find time to do all these things. So some other things you are doing is gone. There is less pressure. There will be less rushing. There will be a calmness. All these things will happen. We can schedule a class 1 year from now. Those who are practicing this, we can meet again. I will have it on Zoom also. Then samskaras and atma gunas. These are all stated. We may, all of this, some of this we may be doing that also, but I want to, what are to be said for a Sanatana way? There are 40 samskaras to be performed. That has been reduced to Shodasha, 16. What is the purpose? To make the individual lead a life of purity as a prelude to reach heaven. You see, Abhyudaya people, their goal is to get to heaven. If that's all what they want, even though the more knowledgeable people and all they say, when your punya is over, from heaven, hey, your time is up, a return ticket will be given to you. That's what they say. So, better than that, you try to self-realization, though you may not have taken, but that is the other side. But we cannot get one step to over there, so we have to do all that thing. So, Abhyudaya and this. And Atma Gunas for that, or to secure Atma Jnana. For that also you need this. What is samskara? Sam means well. Kara is karoti, action. So, samskara means making something well, good, refining, purifying. Kalpa Sutras describe that are to be performed by a man to purify ourselves. Reduced set of 16 samskaras are there. All these are suggested for, again, the varna. It is not jati, the varna, the 3 higher varnas. A reduced set of samskaras is prescribed for 4th varna. Currently, a reduced set of 6 to 8 samskaras are done by all. For example, Jatakarma. When a baby is born, you call a priest and Jatakarma, Namakarna, Annaprasna. When, of course, from the 2nd or 3rd week onwards, here they start giving whatever food and all that. But in our time and all that, before Annaprasna, only mother's milk or bottled milk, that's all what there. But here lifestyle is different. But these are all samskaras that has given. A baby also has to be given Annaprasna at a particular Muhurta day. If you can't wait till 6 months, you try to do it 3 months or days, but to go through this process. Then Chaula, Upanayana, marriage, Simanda, Andyeshti, these are all performed by many people. Now, Atma Gunas, and I use the word Samanya Gunas. You see, there are a lot of characteristics to be done, but 8 Atma Gunas or Samanya Gunas, ordinary qualities are said. I have marked them by red. Their meaning is the Daya, compassion, Shanti, patience and forgiveness. We have neither patience. No, so right there, at the second step, we have faltered. Right? Then Anasuya, absence of jealousy. Shauja, cleanliness. Anayasa is a feeling of lightness, taking things easy. That means effortless. Mangala, happiness with dignity and purity means auspiciousness. Akarpanya. Karpanya means miserliness. We must not show miserly nature. So, Akarpanya means negation. Karpanya is miserliness. Absence of miserliness, positive feelings of courage. Aspriha means, spriha means grasping somebody else's that do not belong to you. Aspriha means, why they are called ordinary gunas, I'll say. These are all simple. You see, this is not asking you to be magnanimous or generous to do dana, to do this and all that. It doesn't say that. That is why it's called ordinary, samanya guna. Then there are vishesha gunas. You can do many of the vishesha gunas and all that. And these samanya gunas are recommended for all to follow. Everyone must follow samanya guna, but especially encouraged for observation by practitioners of Sanatana Dharma way of life. They must try to follow Daya, Shanti. This is needed to have peace at home also, right? We jump at each other. There is no need at all for any of these things. And try to follow whatever we can follow. Now I want to say, it is not only in Kalpa Sutra that is there, it is there in many of our scriptural texts. You can see if you that Manusmriti talks about 5 characteristics of Dharma, Ahimsa of Dharma. What are they? Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, non-stealing, Shauja, cleanliness, and Indriya Nigraha, control of senses. These are the 5 characteristics for Dharma followers prescribed by Manusmriti. What about Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga? There is Yama, Niyama. The first 2 angas, there are 8 steps are there. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. There are 8, that is Ashtanga Yoga. The first 2 angas, if we follow only these 2, that will lead us into a much better level. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, non-stealing, Brahmacharya, study of Vedas and abstinence, Aparigraha, non-grasping of others' possessions, Niyama, Shaucha, cleanliness, Santosha, happiness with contentment, Tapas, austerity, Swadhyaya, self-study, Ishvara Pranidhana, surrender to God. So if we follow this, Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga describes the same thing. Not only the Kalpas, Atma Guna. Now, Devi Sambat of chapter 16. Chapter 16 is titled Daivasura Sambat Vibhaga Yogaha. And in the first 3 verses, Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhi, you see, Abhayam, no bhayam, fearlessness. Sattva Samshuddhi, again we falter in step 2. Sattva Samshuddhi, purity of intention. I have given the meaning also. Purity of heart, purity of intention. Sattva Samshuddhi, there are 26 characteristics or so in that one. By step 2 onwards, we have to re-examine ourselves to give to this practice. That is, in fact, 4th of it says, Logasmin Dvivida Prokta. Krishna says in that 5th verse, Logasmin, all the people can be categorized into 2. Devi Sambat and Asuri Sambat. No in between. So if we don't have to go very far. Look at these 26 categories. Oh, 2nd onwards, 3rd onwards, I'm sure, put yourself in the other category. And then take steps to come to this one. Because Krishna says Bhagavad Gita is not to be just 1 hour out of 168 is not enough. Internalizing and practicing is the hardest thing. So, why I bring all these things together? Then Bhagavad Gita, again chapter 12, 13 through 20. Adveshta sarva bhutana, maitra karuna evaja. Adveshta sarva bhutana. That one step is enough. Adveshta, can we do that particular one? Forget about maitra, karuna evaja and all that. Adveshta sarva bhutana. Towards all beings, no darshyam. Starting with your own inside your house. Can we spend the days without darshyam? So these are all Atma Gunas, even though for Sanatana Dharma way of life, samskaras and atmagunas are say, but I wanted to stretch in our text what all places it is emphasized. There are so many of them, I don't have time to discuss that. He who hates no creature. Why? What Krishna says, all these from 12:13 to 12:20, these are all people who these categories are dear to me. That's all Krishna has said. So if you want to be dear to Krishna, it is good to offer him and all that. But he also has said, do these things, then automatically you are dear to me. So, okay. Now there are few mantras that we are chanting. So I have put around 5 categories in that. If I go to in the topic of Sanatana Dharma way of life, I said there is a general, Swabhava and Swadharma, Yajna and spirituality, Panjamahayajnas, Samskaras and Atmagunas, mantras conveying. These are all in chapter 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am almost short of time for lecture, but I am almost at the end. So the 5th one is few mantras that everyone can chant. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. This, by saying this, then gradually it will become part of you that you want to wish. When you say, have a good day, whether we see the person that we know, we do not know, if we wish them good day, we must, with sattva samshuddhi, wish that person a good must happen to him. Whether he gets a lottery ticket, whether he, whatever his wish gets satisfied. So, loka samsasa, this is part of our dharma. Sarve bhavantu suginaha. Let all people be happy. Sarve bhavantu niramayaha. Let all people be without any disease. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Everywhere let me see bhadram, auspicious things. Ma kaschid dukkhabhag bhavet. Let there be no sorrow anywhere. That is the meaning of this. Then asatoma sadgamaya. Lead me from unreality to real. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, that one line to explain, it will take hours and hours. From darkness, lead me to light. The whole purpose of chanting mantra is Deva, to invite a Deva. Devas are powers of light. But the word Deva was translated as God and then said, oh, there is no God and all that. People became Nirishwaravadis and all that, and they dropped everything. But Deva does not say it is God. Deva is Div, from shine. So it is a power of light and truth. So that is what we are welcoming. So then Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, from darkness. And it is the darkness that forces us to do adharmic acts. And Jyoti, once the darkness goes, our Shadribhus goes, the self reveals itself. So self-realization will also happen. Mrityorma Amritangamaya, from death to immortality. Then Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, that is that's a statement of Sanatana Dharma. Earth world is one large extended family. So everyone has a place and we treat everyone as part of my family. That level we say. And the full sloga is this: I am Nija Paraveti Ganana Lekuchedasam Udara Dardanam tu Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. You see, I am Nijaha, he is mine. Paraveti, that is another person. Ganana Lekuchedasam, the little-minded people. They don't say that the adharmic people think like that. They don't say that. Laguchedasam, people with little intellect, balas. You see, Bala, Katha says, Bala, and they are all fickle type thing. They use that. The Sanskrit uses that. So, this is mine, he is mine, or the other person is his, that is not my concern. They are all the Ganana Liguchetasam. That is how the people with a small intellect, Udaritaridanam, large-hearted people, Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, they consider everyone. We are all part of this. We are all in this earth together. So, everyone knows only the Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. I have quoted the full sloka for people to understand. Suggestions to lead Sanatana Dharma way of life. I am trying to close this. All the 120 pages of the book and these 4 lectures. Understand these fully and completely. Internalize these ideas and concepts. Start practicing the simple things first and gradually the rest. The goal, of course, is to practice whatever can be practiced and to strive harder to meet those that are not met at first try. Again, a set of starting practices which we have all heard from Upanishad. Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, Matar Devo Bhava, Pitar Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. Treat mother, father, Acharya, preceptor and guest coming to one's house as Devas. Study the Vedas, Vedangas and Upangas on a regular basis or whenever time permits. These are known as Chaturasya Vidyasthana. If we cannot do that, read and understand the 2 Itihasas. That everyone can do because they are available in everybody's language. And 1 Purana, the Bhagavata Purana. And this was taught by Sai Deepak's statement. The South Arcot collector in 1823 has written to Britishers, and then only 1835 Macaulay came and completely changed. 59,000 schools in the southern region were teaching Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavata Purana. These 3, we must encourage our children to read these. Continual self-study and teaching others what one knows. Yajna, conduct yajna and connect with cosmic energies, which helps one to rise in consciousness levels. That in turn allows them to see all tasks to be done with clarity, and hence we get more success. Perform yajna which will contribute to Devan Bhavayatanena, Te Deva Bhavayandavaha, Parasparam Bhavayandaha, Sraya Paramavapsisi. That is 3:11. I quoted 3:10 previously. Sahayajna Praja Srishtva, Bhagavad Gita, Purovacha Prajavati. That is 3.10. 3.11, Devan Bhavayadanena. You think about Devas. Te Deva Bhavayanduvaha. Those Devas will in turn think about you. Parasparam Bhavayandaha. Together, you and Deva by Bhavayanda, by taking care of each other. Shreyas Paramavapsisi. Param Shreyas. Supreme. There is no higher Shreyas to come from that. So, these have to be reinforced to all our children. Conducting yajnas, this is what I quoted earlier, Aurobindo. Conducting yajna means giving by man of what he possesses. Man includes woman also. Don't misunderstand, because in our concept, only a grihastha can do a yajna. A brahmachari cannot do a yajna. Brahmachari can only learn Veda and Ramayana and all that. But to do yajna, you need to be, so husband and wife together, Yajamana and Yajamana Patni together. So they give what they possess to higher divine nature, who in turn provides an appropriate portion of divinity and spirituality to man. The 2 essential steps that all must follow. I have explained everything, then I have simplified some, then some more I am giving 2 final steps. Essential step, lead life with Satyantapasradhayam. And in fact, those who do Brahmayajna, we have to do Satyantapasradhayam Juhomi. So every day we are, what is the purpose of doing Brahmayajna? Of course, not to get punya, you can also say that. No, to remind why I do Madhyanam and Brahmayajnam, to remind myself that I must lead my life with Satyantapasradha. I may fail due to my own failures, my own limitations of a human being. But I am, the theory reminded while doing this Brahmajna, Satyam Tapas Shraddhayam Juhomi. So every day, first thing. Second step, divinize or spiritualize. Spiritualize does not mean give up Vedas. You can only spiritualize by Veda contains the Supreme Spirit, Tadegam, and the Devas. And that says in Taittiriya is also, in the it says it's also Anga, Deva, Angas. They are the Angas, it says. What I forget that. The next section. Tisro, Vyahraya, Tasamenzim, in that one it says they are all ways, Devas, Angani, of the Supreme. Divinize or spiritual. These are the two steps. So divinity by yajna, chanting Veda mantra, reading Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavata, these are all ways of spiritualization. The Sanatana Dharma was practiced by people living in the Harappan civilization from around 3000 BC onwards. This is the oldest continuously practiced civilization and culture about 5000 years ago onwards, and is practiced even today in its original or modified form by most people in India. Such a life will benefit the individuals, their family, community, state, country, and the world. Let us have the wisdom and courage to consider reading Sanatana Dharma way of life. And now I have come to summary. And before I come to summary, I wanted to say one thing. I want you now to go back and read section 1.6 of my book, where I have said that the Sanatana Dharma from the Rishi time to this, so many sampradayas have come. Arya Samaj, then Shaddarsana, then Adi Shankara's Bhashyas, Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, Dvaita, then of course the other Dharmic religions, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, all those have come. While this is a very key point I want to emphasize again, while each of these sampradayas have an end goal, all of them has a prerequisite of dharmic living. Everything that has started in India, whether it is Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, they could have different end ways to get there, or Advaita, or Vishishtadvaita, Dvaita, or Arya Samaj. These are all different sampradayas, or Bhakti Marg. All these may have an end, but the prerequisite is Dharma. So, follow this book and this. So, I wanted to say that before. It is the author's earnest hope that the ideas detailed in this book and in these 4 lectures help all to correctly understand Dharma and help them lead the Dharma way of life, which in turn may enable them to achieve. I cannot guarantee them, but by the levels of practice, it may enable them to achieve harmony, good health, peace of mind, and success in their lives. There is only very little time for questions. I'll take 1 or 2 questions. With this, we'll take 1 or 2 questions and then chant the closing prayers.
Unless there is a question here in the room.
Nothing
in the chat. Anybody in the room?
Or you can write to me, read the book, any question, anywhere that you see. I'm here to help anything. This is all, at least understanding needs. That is why even for us to do the Brahmajna or the Gayatri Japam, that's all to remind ourselves that the presence of divinity is needed. Panchaidani Mahabaho Karnani Nibodhame Sankhye Prokte Sarvasiddhye Sarvakarmanam. Sarvakarmanam Sarvasiddhye. For all karmas, Sarvakarmanam Sarvasiddhye. For all karmas accomplishment. See, when you learn Bhagavad Gita, you don't break down into these small steps and to reinforce it in your then. Panchaidani Mahabaho. 5 factors are there. And 4 factors, 100% will agree. Adhishtanam, Karta, Karanam, Cheshta. These 4 are needed to do any action. But the fifth one, they may doubt, who tells there is God? Daivatra Panchamam. But divinity is needed. Now, or dharmic living is needed. Dharmic living will contribute that divinity. Okay, then I will close say the closing prayers, and I will close this today's lecture. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu sarve bhavantu sukhinaha sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkhabhag bhavet asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti. Okay.